At Kensworth Authority, promotions were moments of pride. They represented years of hard work, discipline, and sacrifice. For most employees, seeing a colleague promoted was proof that effort paid off. But for Peter, promotions meant something else. They meant injustice. Peter had worked at the organization for over 11 years. He was experienced, knowledgeable, and confident in his abilities. But he carried a belief that quietly shaped how he saw everything around him. He did not believe anyone earned their promotion fairly. Whenever a promotion list was released, Peter didn't look at it with hope. He looked at it with suspicion. When Jane, a hard-working compliance officer, was promoted, the office celebrated her. She had spent long nights studying, volunteered for extra assignments, and earned the respect of her seniors. But Peter dismissed it instantly. "She was favored because she's a woman," he said during lunch, shaking his head. "These things aren't about merit anymore." Jane heard about the comment later. She chose not to respond, but the words stayed with her. To Peter, success always had a hidden explanation. Never hard work, never excellence, always favoritism. The situation worsened when Samuel, a younger officer who had joined the organization years after Peter, was promoted to senior officer. Samuel was calm and focused. He wasn't loud or boastful, but he was reliable. He delivered results and stayed committed to his work. When the news broke, colleagues surrounded him with congratulations. Peter watched from a distance, his jaw tight. Later that afternoon, he walked straight to Samuel's desk. "I've been here longer than you," he said bluntly. Samuel looked at him calmly. "I know." Peter didn't smile. "So don't pretend this is about merit. You must know someone." The words hung heavily in the air. Samuel felt the sting, but he remained composed. "I worked for it," he said quietly. Peter scoffed and walked away. From that moment, a silent grudge formed between them. Another promotion cycle came the following year. This time, Peter applied. He was confident, certain it was finally his turn. When the list was released, he rushed to the notice board. He scanned the names carefully. Once, twice, 3 times. His name wasn't there. His heart sank. Anger quickly replaced disappointment. "This place is corrupt," he said loudly in the office later that day. "Promotions are decided before interviews even happen." His colleagues remained silent. Some understood his frustration. Others saw something deeper: bitterness. After that, Peter changed. He stopped volunteering for projects, stopped contributing ideas, stopped putting in extra effort. Whenever new opportunities appeared, he stepped back. He convinced himself there was no point trying in a system that had already decided his fate. Years passed. New employees joined the organization. Some were young enough to be his younger siblings. They worked hard, they learned, they grew, and slowly they got promoted. Peter remained where he was. Same position, same desk, same complaints. Meanwhile, Samuel continued rising through the ranks. His consistency, discipline, and professionalism opened new doors. One morning, the office received a major announcement. Samuel had been promoted again. This time, he would head the entire department. Peter read the email in disbelief. His hands trembled slightly. The same man he once accused was now his boss. Later that afternoon, Samuel walked into the office in his new capacity. He greeted everyone politely, just as he always had. When he reached Peter's desk, he paused. "Good morning, Peter," Samuel said calmly. Peter forced a reply. "Good morning, sir." The word felt heavy in his mouth, not because Samuel demanded it, but because reality demanded it. Samuel nodded respectfully and walked on. He didn't mention the past. He didn't remind Peter of his words. He didn't need to. Peter sat quietly, staring at his desk. For the first time, he felt something deeper than anger. He felt regret. Not because others had succeeded, but because he had stood still. He remembered all the years he had spent complaining instead of improving, all the opportunities he had ignored, all the energy he had wasted doubting others instead of building himself. Deep down, he realized a painful truth. The system hadn't stopped him. His mindset had. Because while others were working, learning, and growing, he had been watching, complaining, and waiting for a promotion he had stopped preparing for. In the end, Peter learned what he had refused to believe for years. Success is not always stolen. Sometimes it is simply earned by those who refuse to stop trying. And sometimes the hardest person to confront is yourself.
If you love real-life stories like this, hit subscribe, like, comment, and let's keep walking through these journeys together.